we're out on another wild camp. This one, we're going up Great Mell Fell, and I'm looking forward to this one. I've seen this mount numerous times, never been up it. Welcome to Lost in the Lakes, where you get brews, reviews, but best of all, views. So this should be a good one. It's quite a flat top on the top there, pretty much like last week's wild camp. So I think should be quite a good one. Weather's going to stay calm, hopefully. Trying out new walking sticks, walking poles, whatever you want to call them. Anyway, I'll bring you back further up. Right, this is the summit of Great Mell Fell. Low, claggy clouds all the way around. Even when you look down into the valley, it looks even worse down there. So hopefully, because we're on the edge of some flatlands, I mean the wind is coming from the north, so it's quite a cold wind as far as July is concerned. Just gonna have a little look down here, see if we can find some sort of pitch that's not boggy. Now I do believe that this just drops off, but there's always that little hope that you'll find something. Don't think anything's going to be down there. So it looks like we're not going to quite do a summit camp, because if I sleep in and someone wants to sit on top and take a photo, then let them. But to be honest, I'm not far off from the top if I want to camp here. I mean, this looks like the place to be. What I'm going to do is I'm going to drop my kit down here. We'll have a little scout around. Right, just looking at this little thing, there's a path off that way. So potentially, I just think if I can get facing that way, the way my tent is, it's just better views, because you can stay out of the wind, albeit it's not that very strong considering what I was in last week. Speaking of that, I have got a new toy. Last week I was on about getting an anemometer, and I've got one. Right, this is not looking too hopeful as far as being dry. I think all this top here, it's all quite boggy, and I'm just going lower down. I mean, there is a bit of a peak up there, but I think getting to it is going to be a little bit boggy. Anyway, so let me rabble on a little bit. So I've got this windometer, and last week would have been perfect to test it. I always said I'm just guessing wind speeds, and I used to have one back in the day, so I've got a kind of an idea of what wind speeds are, but it's always better if you can get one. Took a bit of scouting about on Amazon. Like say, I mean, you can pay £300-400 for one of these calibrated windometers. I'll keep calling them wind on them. Even calling them windometers, it's hard. Windometers. So you can spend a lot of money on these calibrated ones, which are obviously used for telling weather and stuff like that. But I mean, money in a tent. So I managed to find one, and I found one that's got Bluetooth. And this is a very precarious part. I just want to get over to this little lump here. So I found one that's got Bluetooth, so it means it's not waterproof, it's not IP rated, but it does mean I can put it outside the tent on my tripod, and use it that way, so I can be in the tent and on my phone, and then I can sort of log the just ventured off the path a little bit. I can log the speeds and then obviously put them up. You know, it does like average over a certain time, and you get to see, well, it puts it into a spreadsheet so you can do whatever you want with it. So you can really get geeky with it and get some graphs going on. Now this is just looking to be worse. Now, little berries are coming out now, bilberries. Used to eat these as a kid. I got told they were bilberries. Still a bit sour, I don't think they're quite ready yet. I've eaten many a bilberry, not to be mixed up with blueberries. It's a bilberry. I think I need to sit down and cook a brew, I think. Not quite ready for me tea yet, but we'll get a brew on. We're coming back up to this point. This is the point I was looking at, but it's just all too wet. If anyone knows this year, it's going to be the, I wouldn't say the wettest on record, but the least sunshine. Probably one of the coldest months. I think we've just had one of the best, was it one of the best Mays? And I think then June was an absolute washout. And now we're into July and it's no better. Oh, thank God my bag's still there. It's always a worry sometimes. You think these fells are empty, but there could be that one guy that takes your bag. No choice. Summit camp or next to the summit. Right, I'm going to get find a spot in this little tiny area and get pitched. So you've got the summit right here, and I'm going to pitch right here. There we go. I've pitched that on an angle. I don't think it's going to matter today, but there's the tent. That's going to be my view. Hopefully, what we're looking at, that. So hopefully this lifts and we'll get a nice view of Blencathra in the morning. The sun's going to rise pretty much over there somewhere, and we're right next to the summit. Right, so we might get some people coming up to the summit in the morning, but I think we'll be all right. Right, I'm going to get my kit in the tent now, and I'll bring you back in there. Kind of set up now. Here's me food for the night. So we've got beef stew and pearl barley. So that's a fire pot one. And then we've got some Battenberg cake that the wife's made me. And we've got our trusty 2 litres of water. It's actually quite warm because it's been in my bag. So I'm leaving that outside for a bit to sort of cool down. We've got the usual wind burner, MSR wind burner, but we've also got this, which is the Alp Kit Brewer. Now I'm sort of toying with, you know, 'cause I'm looking at weights and stuff like that. So I've been having a look at some ideas online, and this is a meth setup. So you've got the brewer, there it is, Alp Kit Brewer, and this is the Alp Kit 650 Mai Tai mug. It's like Mighty mug, but because it's titanium, Mai Tai. This is aluminium. It's got that little feet on it. And you set it up like that. Now, I haven't got any wind things for it, so this is why I brought that, because I wasn't sure how this is going to play out. But I'm going to try it out, and that just sort of sits on top of it like that. The 650, I've got the 900 as well, but the 650 is just that little bit wider for the brewer, so it can sit on it. You just have to be a little bit careful with it because it is a bit tippy. This is why I'm not going to use it unless I'm 100% confident, because that stuff, although you can turn it down, keeps burning. It's not like gas where you can just flick it off and it turns off. This stuff can go all over the place. So I'm still a bit wary about these, and with the weather the way it is and the wind, I might just knock that on the head, but I thought I'd bring it with me just in case, and we'll see how it goes. But again, still haven't played with it. Maybe I should play with it at home, but it's here. And then we've also got some Nescafe 3-in-1 things, because the other ones, they just get a bit messy. These just seem to be an easier, smaller package, so we're going to try them out. And then obviously my trusty mug. That's the Mai Tai 450, which is just a normal mug size. And then this is your Mai Tai 650. Doesn't actually say on the side of that one, but that fits the brewler as well. And then obviously the bag that it comes with all fits in. Sleeping wise, gone back to the Pipe Dream 400. I was just a bit cold last week, and it's still cold now. Then they've got the Thermarest Neo Air and the trusty Trekker chair, and obviously my Nemo sleeping, my Nemo pillow. Right, I'm going to get this all set up, get in and get comfy. Right, so I'm just testing this out. So you can see what this thing's doing at the moment, and it's not good. I think there's still a bit of the old fuel that I had in there. So I'm just going to burn it off with the meths, and hopefully it settles down. So I'm glad I just put a little tiny bit in there to try it out. So today, in this wind, without a windshield, this is going to be a no-go. So I'm glad I brought the gas as well. It was worth taking the extra weight, but you know, the idea is to try and get the weight down. And I've seen these working, but obviously not too good for a summit tent. Right, looks like the clag's coming in a little bit, so I'm going to back off and sit a little bit further in the tent. I'll get this folded away. Right, if anyone seen the camp on Sutterfell, that is Sutterfell just there, and I camped pretty much right on the end on that side there. This would be a good view for the ghosts of Sutterfell if it was to happen. We'll keep the tent open as much as we can and see if we can see anything. Right, just over in the distance there you can see Keswick. So you've got Latrig just down there. Done a few camps, and Lonscale is actually in the clouds, so it would have been completely clagged out this week. So I'm glad I've come for a fairly low camp. I was going to tempt myself and go up a bit higher, but I think we'll stay low and just enjoy what we've got. Quite enjoying this this little hack that I've found. That's I think for the last 3 camps I've camped where my doors sort of like open with the wind, just because it's always fell that way, but it just means it stops that breeze, so you can sort of sit back here and still look out the tent, and it just pushes the breeze off. And you know, as long as that's sort of pegged out there, and yeah, it just gives you that little bit of, obviously if the wind's pushing, you know, you sit here, you can see the wind sort of pushing out there, but yeah, it's not too bad. I don't know what it is, but I do love the configuration to this tent. So the wind's just coming in at the bottom part of here, so I've just basically put the mesh window down so I can still see out, and I'm absolutely shaded from the wind, so I don't know if you can see, but you know, the wind was just coming in through the bottom, and you can still see quite nicely out of here, albeit you're looking through a mesh, but it means you can really shade away from the wind but still have the door open, which is quite nice.
Well, I've had a little sleep and it's just rained. I do believe the forecast is for rain all night. So I'm going to get something to eat, and I think I'll just go to bed, to be honest. There's nothing much more I can do. You can hear that rain, can't you? It's actually getting quite cold as well. The weather this year has just been ridiculously cold, and I don't know why. I've even jumped in my sleeping bag already. So I think I'll just get the tea on, get some food, and then call it a night. Anyway, I'll catch you in the morning. Right, so I'm going to have this, and then I'm going to get some sleep, I think, and then we'll see you in the morning. I had a bit of a mishap. So my socks, which are these down tough merino wool socks, one of them, I had them up on the side here to dry because they were a little bit wet, but one of them fell off and went down the back there, and been out in the rain all night, so I've got one soaking wet sock, which is great. Thankfully it's summer, or it's supposed to be, so we're not going to get too cold. We're on a short descent down off the fell, and then back home. So this morning, I know I said I wasn't going to buy any breakfasts, but I thought I'd try this posh pork and beans. Now last night I had the the beef stew, which was quite nice. I didn't film it, I just sort of got on with eating and fell asleep. I haven't had a look outside yet. Ooh, I can actually see a little bit. Hang on. Just see the ground starting to clear a little bit. So I got up at I think 4 o'clock or something like that, and then I've just had a lazy morning really. As far as camping's concerned, I'm quite late. It's 7:20. So I think I'm gonna get some breakfast on. I put my jacket on last night because although I'm warm in this sleeping bag, I tend to sort of have it down here like that, so it's quite comfortable having the jacket on. It says posh pork and beans. Right, so this looks like it's got dried bacon in it and everything. So we've got to let this stand for 15 minutes. I boiled a load of water so I could have a brew as well. It does have 300 millilitres of water. So we're going to guess 300 millilitres. It smells beans already. So 15 minutes. Siri, set a timer for 15 minutes.
15 minutes. Counting down.
There we go. Right. I think what I'll do is I'll start packing away and just let that sit. And I'll also have a brew. These packets, I had one of these last night and it says tear here and there's a little tear thing. They're a lot handier than the bigger packets, but they still just rip, which means you get this powder everywhere. And wait, 15 minutes what we got left. 13 minutes to go. Right, let's get packed away. Right, 15 minutes is up. I haven't even stirred this yet. Well, it's looking, I don't know if you can see that, but it's looking like bacon and beans. Right, typical fire pot. Smells better than it tastes. I had big hopes for this because the prices on this fire pot stuff has gone up. Now £9.50 for one of these in Cotswolds. I wouldn't say it was any much better. It's nice for a morning breakfast. It's better than muesli. Yeah, I think we're going to go back to the idea what I had last week of making my own. Well, it looks like the weather's clearing up a little bit. That's the first time I've seen that hill all night. That one there. The Suiter's just over to the left there. If I just pan you around a little bit. That's what it was like just before, and it's now clearing. I'll tell you what, I'll stick a little cloud lapse on while I'm having my breakfast. Right, I've been dreading this. Wet sock, dry sock. I'll put the dry sock on first. I thought it was dry. No, that one's wet as well. Oh well, 2 wet socks. Let's see how good these wool socks are when they're wet. Certainly cold. If this was winter, I'd be worrying. Right, I'm going to venture outside for the first time. Oh, there we go. Oh, it's good to stretch the legs. Right, windy all night. Never see that line there? I don't know if you can see it. That line there. A few weeks ago, a slug trail kept on there. Look, it's catching the water. Might have to do something about that. There's a potential it could leak through. We don't want that happening, do we? Okay, I'm gonna sort this tent out and start heading off back down. Right, I'll put you down on this. Look at this. Nice clear over there, and then cloud. And it's been like this on and off all day. All morning even. Right, I am going to pack away. Tent and everything, and then all my rubbish and everything taken up. Leave no trace. Right, well, it's looking clear at the moment. Even nearly see the top of Blencathra there. And that one over there, if you're wondering, is Clough Head. And this is
kind of all the backside of Helvellyn. Right, that's it now. From the top of Great Mell Fell, got the sat nav on. I'm going to go a slightly different way down. Hear it beeping away there because it's figured out a set off. I've got my sticks, and I think just because I think it's a grassy slope, so hopefully we won't be slipping and sliding. Well, certainly coming up here was a different view. Couldn't see any of this. So much nicer today. This is the way I went off. I came up from the left there, and I'm going to go down on the right here. It just seems, looking on maps, a bigger trail, whereas that one quite boggy in places. So I'm just going to go off this way and see what it's like. Hopefully not as boggy as that one. Not too slippy underfoot either, he says before he slips. So on the wet sock note, I forgot I had wet feet, to be honest, until I got them wet again. The socks just seem to just hold the heat on your feet. So one up for merino socks, definitely worth the money. Love these trees. These are really nice, aren't they? I mean, they're dead, but what they call petrified trees. I think that's where the term petrified comes from. You know, scared stiff, or just that's it, done. But yeah, these are sort of the outer trees of the prevailing wind kind of goes that way, and you can kind of see where the trees, the way the trees are going. And these are on the outer edge, and they're all kind of dying off. There's maybe 3 or 4 trees in here that are all dying off actually. Right, I'm gonna pack away the camera because this is where it starts to get a bit steep now. So I'll bid you farewell for a minute. Right, I've already slipped 3 times, so I'm not going to bother filming anymore. So this is it, halfway down off Great Mell Fell, and a lovely wild camp. It was raining all night, but it was actually quite peaceful. Right guys, this has been Lost in the Lakes, and we'll see you in the next one.